What is up, YouTube? So it has been a very long time since I've posted any content or anything. Pretty much we've been, as I stated in my other video, home construction, organizing, moving, setting things up. So we are going to get to the talon, but I pretty much have my shop set up the way I want. Got my engine stands over here. Got some of my fluids over there. Welder. My whole back workbench there. Some transmissions under the table. So, cleaning supplies. Pressure washer. And toolboxes. So, has come a pretty long way. It's kind of why I've been very sluggish on videos. And then this whole area I redid. My parts bins up there for most of my Chevy 69 step-side parts. And then back here would be my parts room. All my parts, maintenance items are in those bins. Different parts for the Mustang, the Cub Cadet tractor, the boat, wiring, fluids for the Talon, fluids for my John Deere and things of that nature. But you didn't come here to hear me ramble on about my shop updates, and then I don't have a light on over there, but that's the other section. So the last video I kind of touched on the heater we installed and the side enclosures, which obviously are zipped out because we're in full summertime. I wanted to give a video on my thoughts on this Talon now, since it's kind of criminal because I think I only still have like 300 miles on it since I bought it, but life has been very busy. We are taking it out this Saturday for my birthday. But I've neglected a lot of stuff. Just being so busy. I've kind of used the boat, I think, more than anything else. I mean, I haven't even driven the old Mustang that much. But I love this machine very, very much. If you're in the market for side-by-side, this would fit my bill. I mean, I literally have, the only thing I can complain about, which I've ad nauseum I have in other videos, is fucking tires, which will be addressed before our Hatfield and McCoy trip. But yeah, I mean, love this machine. I will do a final video of all my accessories because I am pretty much done. If you followed along in the series, you kind of already know most of the stuff I have on, but for new people that might just see this video pop up in the thumbnail, I'll add it. Like, the only thing I've put on since then is this little light bar with a relay and the switch for said light bar. But yeah, oh, and I forgot harnesses. I put PRP 4-point harnesses on here as well, so my camera's not really focusing on. Great upgrade, and then the seatbelt bypass switch. Yeah, so this thing has been amazing. I love everything about it. All the upgrades made me love this thing. I mean, it had some issues from factory that you just have to address, and it all depends who you are and how you ride. And this thing's got plenty of power for me, plenty. Now, I'm not going to go with 32s or 34-inch tires. I think I'm going to go with 30s or 31s. I haven't decided yet, and I'm probably going to have to go with different rims. So I'm going to call Rocky Mountain ATV and see if we can set up some kind of rim package, just because of the offset on here, and see kind of what they think is the best tire and wheel package. So, and plus I'm a little limited with garage door space there, so I do have to watch how high I make this, or I have to be underinflating and then reinflating the tires every time I go out. But yeah, this machine's amazing. So it's got plenty of power. That might change with bigger tires, but as of now, plenty of power. The fender flares, for me, they help keep the mud off me, the inside of the cab, as much as possible. So they were a must. These tree kickers were also a must. It's the other side they got. I don't know if you can see it because I don't have my stick light. No, you can. The other side got pretty chewed up, which is why I got them. Because if you don't have them, you're going to be smashing your lower rocker panel there. Skid plates have served their purpose because I bashed that off of everything. The ground clearance is kind of one thing just because of the smaller tires. The one thing that isn't the end of the world or is this bed extender. To be honest, if I ever do go with a square setup, and that would be all equal tires around, I forget the company. They make one that has a spare tire and it completely full opens up, and it actually extends your bed out even further, so you can actually, I can fit a full-size cooler in there with my boxes that are over there. Not the end of the world, obviously. Fire extinguisher, you don't need one if you don't want one. I just have it just in case because I love the woods we ride in. Don't want to burn them down. This one, particle separator. Definitely happy I got that. I've yet to pull the air filter. I think I will before I go down to Hatfield McCoy. Probably have 500 miles on it by then, 600, just to see how it's doing. And then I'll pull it when I come back because we'll probably put about 1,000 miles on it this year down there. So that'll be, I'll have about 1,500 miles on that filter at that time. The onboard charging thing, again, I like it. That way I know when it's sitting for a while, the battery is always charged and good to go. So that's pretty much the back of the side-by-side. Like, I love how all these things work with this Talon. The Fox Live Valve suspension is amazing. I'm sure if you have a Polaris or a Can-Am with bigger suspension travel, it probably rides better than the Talon. But for this application, it is amazing. It's like driving a Cadillac through the woods, is how I explain it to everyone. The most surprising upgrade that I really enjoyed is these harnesses. I did not care for the seat belts, but these harnesses, they really hold you, so you're not bouncing around as much. So the harnesses were amazing, and then the seatbelt bypass switch to make sure you can go faster than 10 mile an hour. That Talon plate, that was just a thing. And then we ended up putting a hole in the O for the heater on this. So, not a must-have accessory or anything that makes the vehicle woohoo. But I digress. Fox Live Valve with the harnesses, they go hand in hand. Again, it rides amazing. The paddle shifters, ironically, I don't use too much. This DCT transmission and automatic runs amazing. It shifts, ironically, when I want it to shift, and I don't really run into you hit the gas and you wanted it to downshift sooner, or you hit the brakes, it also downshifts. It just shifts the way I personally like it to shift in auto, which is very rare because, mostly everything I had that had the auto manual option always ran it in manual. But the way this thing's set up with the DCT, I don't run it in manual that much. Or sport mode for that much, because we do a lot of woods riding. So I do really, and the sport mode holds the RPMs out longer in the transmission. So that's why I don't really run it in sport mode too much. If we're in the flats at some of the trails we ride, I'll throw it in sport mode. So the four-wheel drive, because of the winter, we did not have that much snow. So I've yet to see how the i4-wheel drive works in the snow with the engaging and disengaging of that clutch pack. That locks in your diffs or not. So I know they have issues with that. That would be the only other accessory I might add on in time, would be the HES bypass. The radio, again, not a must-have. This is pretty loud vehicle without an exhaust, but I can still hear it. If I had to do it again, I'd still keep the radio, but I would have probably put another speaker maybe up there or something. The heater, if you're in cold weather climate, my opinion, it is very salty, very expensive, but a must-have. I forget what it was. I think it was like $400 or $500. It works really well. It's Inferno. I think Ice Cube or something. I can't think of the other one. There's a Honda makes one, Ice something makes one, Ice Crusher, and then Inferno. I went with the Inferno because I've heard a lot of good things about them. So that I love. It works great on a. I think the coldest day we had it out was 28 degrees, and I was able to ride in a sweatshirt pretty much the whole entire time. So, yeah, the Inferno heater is very good, and then obviously the side enclosures are also, if you're going to run a heater, side enclosures, they work really good. It just limits you with some stuff you can put up on this front row bar. I also forgot the rear window. Obviously, in my opinion, is a must-have. Just helps with dust. And then the heaters also come in handy because if it's hot, summer day out, or hotter, and then you're coming back at night and it's cooler, and you go through water, it does, the steam from the rad and the coolant lines that go underneath will fog this up, so it is nice to be able to turn those vents and basically defog your windshield. So windshield to me is a must-have. I mean, some people like the flip outs. I like the glass. It doesn't scratch. Like my rear one's plexi and anti-scratch, and there's nothing anti-scratch about it. You have to be very delicate when cleaning that, or you'll wipe scratches into there. I also like the manual wiper. Some of it's a little cheap, like as you notice, this started to already split away, but it's not a $1,200 windshield like the factory Honda one. Oh, and the other thing I like about these side enclosures is the outside door handle. I really like that. And I like the Super ATV one because it does have these vents open. Helps with more airflow. Other than that, the light bar was not a must-have. The factory lights are okay, but we do outlaw trails down in West Virginia, so the extra light helps me. I did not want an obnoxious light bar up top. If it's foggy and you're running through fog, it kind of just makes it, this to me, my opinion, better. Now, if I was doing night riding all the time, I probably would have put the column lights on each side. And then the 5,000 pound Super Salt winch is amazing. I've had to use it to pull and actually snap a tree that was in the trail. And I've used it for some other things, and I'm a big believer in winches. So all in all the accessories I have in here combined with the Talon itself has made me love this machine. There's not too much I can complain about it. I've had zero. Now, granted, it's not like it has 8,000 miles on it. But for 300 miles, which I think roundabout is, I'd have to look at the odometer. It might be a little bit more than that. Now that I have a lot of seat time in it with all the accessories, I absolutely love this machine. The interior's comfortable. The seats kind of keep you upright more than other ones that are kind of laid back. I like it because it allows me to see better, my field of vision. I got plenty of head space. I'm pretty close to 6 foot, like 5 and 11 and a half, and I got plenty of leg space and like 250. So I fit in the seats well, and the steering wheel's not an issue, and it is tilt. And then the other thing that I absolutely love is the shift gate that I got, because you go from reverse to high in the same notch. So if I'm turned around and looking behind me, all I got to do is put the shifter from high to reverse, and I know it's in reverse because that's the only way it can go on that gate. And it's the same thing for low to reverse. And then the other absolute thing is the shifter boot that is in there. And now that I've had it out in the hot weather, it does really help with heat coming into the cab. You still get it, but it's not as bad as it was when I first got this. I got this in October, and last October in this area was a little bit mild, and there was a lot of heat and dust coming up through that trans tunnel. So in the winter, it's nice because it keeps cold out. In the summer, it's nice because it helps not have so much heat come in the cab. You're still going to get it because your transmission tubes go along there, and it keeps the dust out of the cab, which is nice. So that to me was is a transfer case boot that I put on here. The rear view mirror was something else. The RAM mount for my phone. I also have a RAM mount for the tablet, but I only really use a tablet in West Virginia. I put a cell phone charger in there, if you can see it, and then that has a voltmeter on it, so it tells me where my battery's at, charging wise, if it's charging and where it's at. So that I also like because we're able to charge our devices as well. I mean, it does come with a 12-volt outlet. The hill descent feature, I also enjoy that. We are in cold country, so we ride a lot of hills and crazy terrain. It is nice if you have to stop on an incline, you can hit that. It engages your brakes. It lets you take your foot off the brake on the gas, start giving it gas, and then the brakes release. So I do like that feature. Honda has always been very simple and very reliable with their stuff. So that is why I love Honda products. And the other thing that I put on here that probably is not needed unless you're doing some hardcore rocks, which we do and don't, is the trailing arm guards. Again, I just put it on there because I'm a big believer in protecting your investment. But the skid plates and the tree kickers have really, or rock sliders, whatever you want to call them, have really come in handy. So that is pretty much that. And thankfully I've yet to use that glue tread product I got, which is tire plugs and sidewall patch kit, because I've only blown out one tire so far. That was unrepairable, but hopefully I don't have to use that. But so far, outside of that one tire blowout with these crappy tires, I've been doing pretty good with not slicing tires. So yeah, I can't really think of anything else. Like I said, the only other thing I really want to put on here besides tires is a Hess four-wheel drive bypass kit. I toyed around and looked at exhausts and tuners, and I don't know. I probably am not. They're stupid expensive for that amount of money. I don't know. And like I said, it's nice to have exhaust on these things, but then again, it's kind of nice not to at some points in time. So who knows? I always say I'm not going to do things, and then I do things anyway. I also said when I bought this I was going to put thousands and thousands of dollars of accessories in it, but you know, here we are. Such is the addiction to cars and boats and side-by-sides. So yeah, that's my initial. Now that I have seat time in this, I absolutely love this machine. I really don't have any complaints besides the tires, and obviously the tires and the ground clearance, which kind of go hand in hand. I think the transmission, the DCT shifts perfectly. I don't know how the brakes wear on here yet. That's yet to be seen. And the maintenance on here is pretty easily. The sub-transmission fluid is a pain in the butt to get to fill it because of where the sub-transmission's at. But other than that, everything else is like very accessible. For your oil filter housings right there, and then your DCT filter is down there. The only thing with these is they make an effing mess. Now my quad did the same thing. It's the same housing, same mess. But yeah, I mean, the longer this will go, I'll make long-term video probably next year after Hatfield. How did it fare? If I had any failures on anything. But as of right now, I've had zero issues with this. And it's performed extremely well, and I'm very pleased with it. And I've had it on some very rocky stuff, inclines, in the water. Now, I'm not swamping it in mud. I mean, I've had it pretty deep, but, you know, and it has asked everything. It has done everything I've asked of it and has never struggled, honestly. So I absolutely love this. This is the X model, so it's a narrower model. The R model, you get a little bit more suspension travel, and it's wider. But for all intents and purposes, this 2024 Talon has been an incredible machine. I literally have zero complaints with it. The only thing that I ever complained about, which Honda fixed in the newer models, was relocating the gauge cluster to the steering wheel instead of the center. So that was always my early complaints with these machines when I was toying around the idea of getting one. But yeah, I absolutely love this machine. I think it's a beautiful machine. I like the color scheme of this one, and it's been a very all-around good performing machine. I wish Honda, which is something else I'll probably add, would do something for more than that fake bumper there, and it's the same thing with the rear. There's literally no protection on the rear, which is kind of stupid in my opinion. So that might be a later thing. I don't really plan on backing it into anything crazy, but you never know. And then the one time you do, you go, oh, I wish I would have got a bumper. So that's my overview of this. We'll just call it a 300-mile review, I guess. And the seat time I've had in it, I absolutely love this machine. I will try to do better at creating content more, because I do really want to start working on this guy, which I did start working on this, but I'm also in the middle of multiple home projects right now inside the house, and try to keep you up to date with this as well. So thanks for tuning in. I hope this video helps someone if they're in the market to buy side by side. Till next time.